To parenting college students, whether it's Thanksgiving weekend or holiday break, that first trip home for the kids can be emotional. And for mom and dad, too, particularly when expectations collide. You imagined hours of catching up with your student. He imagined sleeping away the stress of midterms, hanging with his high school friends till 2 a.m., and oh yeah, there's this giant sack of laundry. So let's get some perspective and advice for you moms and dads. Empty Nest coach Mary Ellen Gard back here on the morning show. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. It's hard to believe it's already Thanksgiving.
I know. You know, and this is something I was always very cognizant of. They're not really here to see me. I mean, you know, they're glad to see me.
Right.
But, you know, they have their friends. They have their need for sleep. So as a parent, what do I have to do? Be realistic and manage my expectations?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I remember when my kids were first coming home, I remember thinking, I can't wait for them to come home. But waiting is exactly what I was doing. Waiting for them to wake up, waiting for them to come home from seeing their friends, sometimes kind of waiting for them to go back to school because it didn't go the way I thought it would. And so, yeah, it is about managing your expectations. And as a life coach, the bulk of what I do is helping people navigate these transitions. So some tips for that is starting with manage what your expectation is about the holiday itself and that time that they're going to be home. What is it you think is going to happen? What is it you think should happen? And then being realistic about what really does happen.
Is it okay to ask them for what you expect and need?
Absolutely. And that's really one of my favorite tips is recognize that there's things you want and you can ask for it, but be smart about it. I realized this with my second born, that I was playing that waiting game again, and it didn't feel great. So I figured out a way to get what I wanted, but I married it with something that I knew she would want to. We live in Atlanta, and my kids' favorite restaurant is Houston's. If I ask them, do you want to go to lunch at Houston's? That's always a yes. So I used what I had, which is a credit card. Take them to lunch. I got what I wanted, which was that FaceTime with my daughter. She got what she wanted, which was her favorite restaurant, her favorite meal. Why not ask for what you want? And again, marry it, though, make it palatable for them because they are excited about going out and seeing their friends. That's really normal. And you may feel like as a parent, you've barely seen your child during Thanksgiving break. That is really normal. Here's the good news. They're back in 3 weeks. You get another crack at them.
And that's a whole other set of issues.
Right.
But here's the thing. They've been away. Mm-hmm. They've had their independence. They haven't had to answer to you. So when they come home, maybe is it best to renegotiate things, but also understand that it's not going to happen overnight. It'll take a little bit of time.
That is so true. And honestly, what happens is, you know, this is a big transition. That child you dropped off just a few short months ago may not be the one who comes home. They've changed. They haven't had a parent parenting them. And they may even sort of, give you a little bit of this pushback when you're trying to do what you've always done, which is where are you going? What time are you going to be home? What's happening? Just know that that is very normal. And yes, you do need to do some renegotiating. What does it mean to be a part of this family? What does it mean for me to be parenting an adult, or as I like to call them, almost adult children?
And for the parents who don't get what they want and sit there and they internalize it and they beat themselves up, what's your best advice for them?
My best advice is don't beat yourself up. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your child. This is sort of a new normal for you. You've got some time. They're coming back again at Christmas. They'll be coming back at spring break maybe. Well, probably not, but certainly in the summer. You've got time to renegotiate this, and it does take time. And don't be surprised if there is some conflict, and do not beat yourself up.
Do you start negotiating Thanksgiving and hoping that the negotiation, pays off come
by Christmas?
Christmas?
You do. I think Thanksgiving is a good place to start.
But they're only there for a few days.
They're only home for a few days. So again, asking for what you want. And your kids, it's not that they don't want to see you or spend time with you. They just know they're going to get it sort of on the fly. Like when you're delivering their clean clothes to them in their room or on your way to grandma's house for Thanksgiving dinner. And that's plenty fine for them. So asking for what you want and just realizing that, they're looking to find their friends, do their thing, and actually really catch up on a lot of sleep. That's probably the bulk of what they want to do.
They're looking a break from their routine.
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes we forget that. We kind of don't acknowledge that they have their own agenda for what they want that trip to be like.
Good advice there.
Thank
just in time
you.
For the holidays. If you'd like more of Mary Ellen's advice, you can check out her website. Made it easy for you. There's a link on newsforjax.com. Just look on the morning show page.